Well, you've really come a long way so far. And let's break down Mississippi John Hurt's Stack-O-Lee Blues, or Stack-O-Lee. Again, what we're going to be doing is a lot of hammer-ons the way we first learned them, and then one time in this section, we're going to be doing a reverse hammer-on. Let's take a look at the very first measure. First off, with this tuning, we're going to be going back and forth almost all the time when we're at a D here between the 6th and 4th string. All right, that's with the D chord. With the G7, we're going to be going to the 5th and 4th. Notice that we're not bringing our third finger down here to make a G7 because it's in drop D. So the actual G note's up here, but we're not going to do it up there. We're just going to play this. And for our A chord, NA7, we're going to take our first finger, bar it across 4 strings. And then add our pinky here at the 5th fret. And we have also the A7 played like that. So those chords are going to be coming up. So here we go. The very first measure has a hammer-on and then an in-between note. And then you repeat that measure. Now here in the third measure is where that reverse hammer-on comes in. Listen to it again. Well, we have 2 hammer-ons in there. We have the reverse one, and then we have the regular one. So the reversed one, you can hear it in the first 2 beats. But right after you do that, you're going to hit an in-between note with your on the 2nd string. Now, the way I usually play this in this particular piece is my 2nd finger is really kind of operating the 1st string, and my 1st finger is operating, in this case, in the 2nd string. But that's not necessarily a hard and fast rule. You can do it any way you'd like. That's just the way I do it. So listen to that third measure again. The reverse measure, the reverse hammer-on, and then the regular hammer-on is in there. And then the last measure in that segment is just this. So I'm going to play that whole first line very slowly. Hit the 5th string in there by mistake. Every now and then that happens. Third measure. Now I'm going to go to the G7 chord. And here you really have to kind of get that 2nd finger curled because you want to hear that 4th string nice and clearly. Just putting down my 1st finger and the 2nd finger, I'm going to add my pinky onto that 2nd string. So here's this. So we have a pinch, bass note, another pinch, get that right there, and then we have an in-between note. So we have okay. Now we have a hammer-on. Get that little hammer. And the pinch and the in-between note. Now in our next measure, we're going to continue with that G7. So we get that back to the D. Now here with this D chord, I'm actually playing 2 notes at the same time. Sometimes it's called a double stop. My first finger is on that second string, and my second finger is on the first string. So here's where your second finger, if you only play with your first finger, here's where your second finger comes in handy. Now, a couple of ways of doing it. If you're only going to use your first finger, you can sort of brush up on it if you want. Okay, but I use 2 fingers here. So it's really up to you. Now we go into our A chord. I usually like barring it first and then putting down my pinky. Here I'm going back and forth between the 5th and the 4th string in the bass and adding that first string up here on it as an in-between note. Now in the next measure, I'm going to be going from this A and I'm going to get into the A7 on an in-between note. Okay, so you think. And then finally, the third measure in this last line. And then finish it up. So once you've completed this, and once you've completed this course, you have the fundamentals to really go on to a little bit more beginning intermediate Travis picking. I want to say congratulations to all of you that have worked through this course. It's different if you've never fingerpicked before, but now you have the skills. Now you could call yourself a Piedmont picker or a Travis picker, or you're one-diming it. Take care, folks. I hope you enjoyed it.